Hello and welcome to today's class. So we'll be talking about morphology and syntax in English language. Now, what is morphology? Morphology is the study of word structure in a language. Now, it's the study of word structure, how word forms in a language. Now, we have the key concept, morphemes. What are morphemes? Morphemes are the smallest meaningful units in a word. Morphemes are the smallest meaningful units in a word. Now we have the free morphemes and we have the bound morphemes. Now let's look at this word here, unhappiness. Unhappiness. Now the smallest meaningful unit we have on, we have happy, we have ness. So you see three morphemes combined to form this word. Okay. Now this on meaning not, negative, none. Happy, feeling of being happy, then ness. Okay, now you see how these three combine to form this word. So each of those words they are morpheme. Now this on is a bound morpheme, meaning it cannot exist on its own. Happy is a free morpheme because it can exist on its own. Now ness is a bound morpheme because it needs to be attached to a free morpheme. Same thing with replaying. We play and in. Okay, play is the free morpheme, while we and in they are the bound morpheme. Okay, now also we have cats. Now cats is the smallest unit. Cat and is the smallest unit. Morphemes we have cat, C-A-T, cat as a free morpheme, and we have this S, okay, as the bound morpheme. Okay, bound morpheme meaning that it needs to be attached, it cannot stand alone. It's the smallest meaningful unit in the word, but it cannot stand alone. It needs to be attached to a bound morpheme or to a root word. Now we have different types of morphology. We have the derivational morphology and the inflectional morphology. Now derivational morphology, now remember we are actually talking in morphology, we have something called word formation process. Okay, how morphology forms, how we use how we form words in morphology. Okay, now we have the derivational morphology. This type of morphology forms new words or it changes the word class when words are formed together, when morphemes are added together. And we have govern. When you have meant, add meant to it, it changes the whole word. Okay, from govern to government, it will changes the word class. Now govern is a verb, governance is a word, is a noun. So you see how it actually has changed the word class, it has changed the meaning, it has formed new words. We also have inflectional morphemes. These inflectional morphemes, they do not really form new words or change classes, they just add grammatical information like tense, number, case. They just show this grammatical information. Okay, now the word meaning does not really change, the class also does not change. It just shows us, it just adds more grammatical information. Okay, now we use this inflectional morphology to actually uh, for our subject and verb to actually agree. You know, when you're forming sentence, your subject has to agree with your verb. Okay, now it has grammatical information like tenses and numbers so that our sentence can be grammatically correct. Now we have work. Okay, now the ed, inflectional morphology, is that we added to it to show the tense of past tense. Okay, now what is syntax? So what is syntax? Syntax is the study of how words are arranged to form phrases and sentences in a language. Now I think you can picture a bit of the difference. Morphology is the study of word structure in a language, while syntax is the study of how words are arranged to form phrases and sentences in a language. Now we have in syntax we have something called word order. We also have sentence structure and grammar rules. This is where your grammar rules comes to play. So you see that morphology and syntax kind of interplay because when you look at inflectional morphology, remember I told you that inflectional morphology actually helps to keep the structure of the statement of the sentence in place. Okay, it follows the rules to help the sentence follows the rules. Now you see sentence structure and grammatical rules. Now we have word order, that is SVO, subject, verb, object. Now you can also have complement or adjunct, but the major one is subject, verb, and object. We could also have only subject and verb, or we could also have verb as a full sentence. But regardless, the word order for syntax structure is subject, verb, and object. Now we have some examples in English to follow the rules. We have the boy ate the apple. The boy ate the apple. Now the sentence is correct. Now when you say ate, when you put the verb at the initial position, ate, you put the object, the apple, and subject, the boy at the end. You see the sentence is incorrect. Now we have some rules. Syntax actually helps us to follow these grammatical rules to enable the words to be arranged in a way that will be grammatically correct. Okay. Now let's look at this simple English sentence structure. The girl kicked the ball. Now the girl is a noun phrase. The kicked is a verb phrase. The ball is also the noun phrase. This noun phrase is functioning as the subject, this as the verb, and this as the object. Okay. Now this tree structure shows how English phrases are grouped. Okay. See, noun phrases, verb phrases, and noun phrase. Now, what are the differences between morphology and syntax? Those are the point of contact and the point of departure. Now, morphology focuses on word structure, how words are joined together, how they form new words, how they form how they add in grammatical information. You get? It focuses on word structure, while syntax focuses on sentence structure, how words are formed to construct sentences. Now both work together. Okay, the point of contact is that both work together to create meaning and grammatical structure in language. Okay. Now, in summary, morphology studies word formation and structure, which we discussed. Syntax studies how words combine into phrases and sentences. Now, both are actually very essential in studying how English works. Now, how can we apply this? We can apply this in language learning, in translation, in linguistic analysis. Okay. The, morphology and syntax will be applied to the language learning. This is how we are taught in secondary school. I think there's a particular statement I knew I grew up with when I was in primary school. Do not start a sentence with because is a conjunction. So it's taught to me that you don't start a sentence with because, even though that is actually a prescriptive grammar. I think we're going to talk about that in our subsequent lessons. Okay, you do not start with conjunction. That's a prescriptive grammar rule. Now, it could be used in language, it's used for translation. Most words, when you translate them from the indigenous languages to English, you see it doesn't really follow the structure. You have to rearrange it to be able to follow the SVOC structure. Okay. Also for linguistic analysis, we use morphology and syntax. Till we meet again, please subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.